Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Melina Landrio, and I want to thank you all for sharing space with me today. Today is July the 24th, 2026, and I am coming to you with some dreams and channels, and I feel like this could be very well leading into some form of mediumship. Because I was just about to go to bed, and Spirit's like, hey, remember these dreams? And so I realized I should come in and share these with you guys. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do one or two videos in regards to this. I am going to go with the flow of what Spirit is advising me as we move forward. I have a lot of archangel presence here today to assist me. So I often actually do, but today more so, which is showing me the influence of mediumship to a different degree. So we'll see where this goes. And when I say that, I feel like that's just a different degree to what I'm used to in regards to it. So, pardon me, confirmation. So, a few days ago, I had a dream, and I was going, in my dream, it was almost like I was going to look at a house. This house had a very cottagey feel to it. I walk in, and the layout was you walk in, and there was like a table immediately here, maybe like a dining room table where people sit, and directly adjacent this table was a couch and like a seating area, like a living room setup, and next to that, and adjacent to when you walk in the doorway was a kitchen area. It was an open concept room. For some reason, I feel like there was a lot of wood in this home, which made me think cottagey feel. And there was a woman that greeted me who had blonde hair and red lipstick. She was very, like her hair was smooth and straight, very intentionally put together. And there was also there's three women total in this space. And I walk in, and I'm standing at the edge of the couch facing the kitchen, and in front of me is a man, but behind me is a man in a wheelchair. And he caught my attention the most in the dream. So I turn around and I see him behind me, and I acknowledge him, and he was with dark brown hair, salt and pepper, a lot of like white or gray along the temples. He had a very slim oblong face. His nose was a very straight point, thin nose, but he also kind of reminded me a little bit like Jughead in a way. I don't know why. He was wearing a bluish top, different than this blue. This is more like a soft, foamy green, maybe blue, teal, gray blue. His was more of like those blue T-shirts that you get. That's, I don't know. I don't think I have anything close to me that could describe this color. Different blue, not royal blue. Somewhere in between. He had maybe hazel green eyes, and he was a Caucasian man, but he tans. He could tan easily. He's not someone like me that goes in the sun and burns. He actually holds a tan. And so I saw him behind me, and then I looked back towards the woman, and I guess a man was standing next to her, who I didn't really... I just knew someone was there. And I went to look back at the man behind me, and he disappeared. So that could be relevant. Somebody just disappearing. Could be a man disappearing in a wheelchair, or somebody that's got some sort of a like a handicap that's disappeared. What I remember walking into this home was it had this all these large squash, like these zucchinis with flowers on top, that were lining the doorway entrance when I walked in. And then there was another meticulous garden off another doorway, I think, or maybe it's the same area, but there was like a barbecue area, it felt like here. And for some reason, I went out here and it was like this garden. I'm going to try to describe it. I don't know what you would call it, if there's a name to it, but it was shaped almost like a coffin would be shaped. It had like in the center a rectangular section of tall plants, and then in front of it, one, two, three other rectangular shapes, gradually going um, shorter from the center, like aligning but shortening up slightly. And the same on the opposite side. So it had three on each side of it, so 7 in total across. Rectangles of dirt with plants, sections of plants. And then on the ends, also the same but shorter sections. And again, 3. So 3, 3, 3, 3, and 1 in the middle. I don't know what that is, but it was almost on the front and the side of a barbecue area. Anywho, um, now I'm in Ottawa, and recently Ottawa has had some flooding. Canada Day we had big floods, and it's been a lot of rain, so I'm assuming people that had floods are probably also um, experiencing further problems from it. I noticed there's a lot of drenched farmers' fields and stuff. So in the dream, I had a dream that I was walking with my youngest son. Michael is his name, so the name Michael could be significant. Or a child with a name that starts with an M could be significant, maybe a 6-year-old, because my son is 6. And I'm walking with my son, and it's evident that there's a lot of flooding or flooded areas, like just a lot of wetness around us as we're walking up this roadway. And I think he had to go to the washroom or something, and then all of a sudden I have my phone, and I accidentally drop it in a body of water I perceived. But then it was almost like, and it felt like that man with the wheelchair was here again. Now, I'm not 100% seeing him there, but I'm talking to somebody about this phone that I dropped in the water. So this could be a conversation that somebody had with potentially somebody in a wheelchair about dropping a phone in water. And it was almost like I didn't care that I dropped my phone in the water. It was like, oh, it's dead now. I screwed it up. May as well just leave it, and kept wanting to go on. But for some reason in the dream, something, it was all, I'm being reminded of when I gave birth to my second child. We went to the hospital thinking that I was going to have her. And I guess when I got to the hospital, everything just slowed down for me, that they were like, well, if you stay here, you're going to risk having another section. And I really didn't want to do that. And it took my midwife and the nurses, whoever, a lot to convince me to leave, because I was there and I did not want to go back in the car. It was a really uncomfortable drive. It was winter, but somehow I got convinced to go back home, and was told to come back the next morning and we would deliver the baby there. But my child had other plans. I ended up delivering by myself in my own bedroom without a doctor. And I called them to tell them that I gave birth. Anyway, something like that, like, maybe that's relevant. I don't know why I just shared that. Maybe that's relevant. That was 2015. Maybe that year is relevant in regards to this situation that I'm speaking of. However, this might resonate with whomever this could resonate with. But in the dream, it was like I turned back around to go back and get my phone, although I didn't want it a second ago. And when I looked down, it was almost like my phone that I thought had landed in the water had landed in like a buffering zone where there was no water at all. So maybe there was a container, or there was just something blocking the water from hitting a certain space, and that's where my phone landed. And so I picked my phone up and it was fine, and I went on. So there's something relevant about dropping a phone in a body, the perception of dropping a phone in a body of water. But maybe they didn't do that, or I don't know. Something about that is relevant. Also, upon waking up, and I did try to record this video a second ago. Upon waking up, I had this concern about a tampon that's been soaked in some sort of substance, and I felt like it was given to somebody, and I got concerned, like, is someone going to do this, like, there was a fear as a mother that someone's going to give this to my kids. So I, had to have a conversation with them about stuff like this, but it was like a tampon soaked in substance, and it was on my mind when I woke up. And then my son also woke up at this point. Now, I just tried to record this video a second ago, and my son woke up at this exact point of the message. And I had to pause the video, and I was in the middle of saying something. And this is why I redid it, because I got lost in the commotion of what I was actually saying prior. I couldn't remember it. I thought, well, I may as well just redo it, because I might be missing some information. So, pardon me. So somebody is maliciously maybe trying to give somebody a tampon soaked with substance, or somebody has done this. And like what I was being referenced to was like I went to school to become a teacher, to be taught in addictions work. I wanted to work. I wanted to get a little bit more understanding of addictions and become a addictions counselor. And I started the process. I graduated my class, and I ended up taking to get my certification, or my to graduate. I had to take a certain amount of hours training, and I ended up doing this through the shamanic practice that I was in school with. I requested to work with them, and they accepted me, and they gave me a bunch of their clients to work with. In particular, they recommended specific people to work with, and I did that, and it was all online because it was COVID, so it was kind of weird, but it was a weird time when I took that course. But yeah, so I was showed this working with clients and addictions, when I saw this part of the message with the tampon. So maybe somebody is an addict that's maybe not quite present in their lives, like they're really addicted to some hardcore substances, and maybe somebody is preying upon somebody who's an addict, or has preyed upon somebody who has some serious situations going on in their life. Because for some reason this is, and I don't know if you just saw that my light got a little brighter. For some reason this is kind of coming up today. And so my son waking up also upon this understanding makes me wonder if something happened, and like somebody maybe gave somebody something. Maybe it was a tampon, like literally, or maybe it was something else. Maybe somebody gave somebody who they know was an addict something with a not so good intention, and maybe there was a child present who woke up when this was going on, or maybe they witnessed something that was going on that was of that kind of nature. So that's my dream that I received there. And at this point, I'm just going to pause the video for a second so I can just tap into my understanding here if I need to move forward to the next dream, or if I want to tap into some cards here. So there's just a lot of energy coming in. Just give me a moment here. I'm just going to go with the flow. Sorry, it's a very distracting energy because there's so much. Like I'm right now receiving, and I've been getting this nudge in my back tonight, like a painful nudge on my right side of my back. And it's making me wonder if there was some sort of an injury that somebody may have received in regards to what I've just expressed in the back, the right spinal column, shoulder blade area. I heard rhomboid. I can't say that word right. There's a muscle that sounds like that up here. I say it funny, apparently. I had a friend who was a massage therapist who used to tell me I said that funny. Anywho, I did pull some cards the other day about what I just read. But I'm not going to go into those unless I feel guided back. I'm being guided to share the next dream because the two coincide. Now, the next day I had a nightmare, and I don't normally have nightmares to this extent, at least not in a very long time. I shouldn't say I don't. I have had them in the past when I didn't understand I had gifts or the extent of my gifts, like when I was a teenager. And I didn't really have any help exploring them. And I didn't really get much confirmation from the people around me in regards to when I was right on something or not. Like, the majority of the time it was kind of overlooked, even though I was bang on about things, as I've discovered as I've gotten older. But yeah, so this dream I woke up from, and this was a nightmare. And it was like I'm in the dream and I'm viewing a man. And this man is wearing, I had to look up what this was. It's called a kaftan. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It was like a white shirt, but it was a long shirt, and he had a white shirt. It was long, and he was wearing white pants underneath it. And there was a pinstripe along the breast line of his chest that I saw colors like blue, red, maybe like a tiny stripe of white in the center of that, but there was definitely blue and red in that stripe. I'm not sure. I'm seeing flecks of gold right now as I'm stating this, but I'm not sure. I just know there was a pinstripe of something there. Anyways, this man was standing there. Pardon me, I keep very gassy here all of a sudden. So this man was standing, and he was standing alone, and it was like he was staring like off in the distance, but like I was witnessing him. It was like he was staring at me, and his eyes look possessed. He looked possessed. I don't know. He looked possessed, like he could have dabbled in something he shouldn't have dabbled in. He had some sort of entity attachment. His eyes were very dark. His eyes, they were brown. He had darker skin, dark hair. His haircut was like this Caesar type of haircut. And he was a thinner, slender man. And he was just staring off in the distance. And he looked calm, but surrounding him, the energy was very chaotic. And I feel like off in the distance, like there was buildings falling, there was fires, there was like people panicking, screaming, running around. I just remember his eyes looking very dark. And not just the color, just the energy of his eyes were dark, like possessed. And in the dream, I was being chased by this man. And it was very scary. I had a lot of fear in the dream. It's like almost like I was being hunted by this person. And it was like he ripped off my hands, and I had just bloody nubs. And it was like I was being targeted for him to rip off my hands. And I remember in the dream, maybe I was with my daughter, and I was trying to get her to be quiet and hide, and then he ended up finding me. It's like everywhere I went, he ended up finding me. It was like he was like targeting me, but like almost like he was magnetized to find me or trying to find me. So I remember waking up from that dream being very afraid. Like it was almost like one of those dreams where you actually feel like you're actually in the dream when you wake up. And I remember thinking, what the fuck is this? And, you know, I had to revoke and rebuke it. I called upon God and Archangel Michael to help assist me with that because the fear was filling my room. And then there was a noise that I heard. I perceived hearing a noise downstairs. And I thought, like, it just kind of perpetuated that noise for me to call upon Archangel Michael and clear the space. So, like, and I was also hearing nightmare music. I can't remember exactly what it was at the time, but I felt like it was being projected. So I almost feel like there's some sort of projection of fear being projected towards somebody, that they're going to be insanely hurt. Someone's targeting them, someone's following them. Maybe this is related to the dream that I had prior. Like maybe these people were the ones who assisted some sort of orchestration, or the man in a wheelchair maybe had something to do with this. Definitely a man in a wheelchair, because I keep seeing this everywhere, not just in my dreams. It's like illuminating. I keep seeing like I had a man show up at my house on my camera, and he was trying to come up my porch and he was in a wheelchair. It was kind of weird because he doesn't live here and I don't know him. When I looked at the video of it, I was like, who is this guy? And he ended up leaving. But it was almost like he was coming straight to my house. Like he knew he was coming to my house. He knew where he was going on the video camera that we caught of this man. And I have a few neighbors in my neighborhood that have wheelchair access on their porches. So maybe he was confused, or regardless, I'm seeing these illuminate to me when I drive by. I never noticed them before, and then all of a sudden I notice them. So there's something about a wheelchair that's prominent about this reading. And projected energy. I don't know what the cut off hands symbolizes. Maybe that symbolizes something. I should have probably looked that up before I came up, because I feel like there could be some sort of symbolism. I'm being showed to take a specific card here. So I'm going to pull off my cards here for a moment here. What is the symbolism of this? Is there something here? Reversals. So could be something to do with reversals. The act of change, a construct to change something to its exact opposite. A complete change of policy. Surprising shift in fortune. Exchange of roles between two people. A legal decision. Appeals court overturns. Yeah, so that could be significant. I don't know, is there anything more I wrote here? Oh yeah, this is also, there's a few channels here, the few dreams that I had. So that's the second dream. Now I'm being showed a vision that next day of a sheer, like sheer, what are they called, shears? Curtains, but sheer curtains, maybe white curtains, and it's like I saw this, like maybe it's a white, like a rounded back chair, and there's somebody sitting in it. It's like a darkened room, and there's like a maybe a man sitting in this chair, this white rounded back chair, and it's like they're looking out through these curtains. And then I saw this black kitten. I think it had blue eyes and it had like its pointy ears and just really fluffy kitten, and it was underneath a bed. Like it looked like it was underneath the bed, and it just stared at me. So that could be something specific as well. That was a couple days ago, and then literally yesterday, I heard in the middle of the night the song, "For he's the jolly good fellow, for he's the jolly good fellow, for he's the jolly good fellow that nobody can deny." So that also might be significant. So yeah, these are the dreams that I had. I'm going to do a tap in spiritually now, like just to investigate a little further. I mean, I feel like these are pretty the information that's required is already placed out with what I've just said. But I'm also feeling there is spirit presence here today, and something with my back. I had a pain. Also, I had a bit of a constrictive heart earlier, which made me think that somebody was here, and they wanted me to know, and it was almost a reminder, like, can you please look at the channels? I need somebody to know what happened to me. And I'm seeing a woman now with freckles, and she has maybe finer hair. Maybe she's pale like me. Thinner woman, just could be an addict. It feels like she's thin like an addict. Also, she could have had markings on each arm when she passed, like a needle print on each arm, like a fresh needle print. One on each elbow crease is kind of what I was being showed as relevant, or could be relevant. So maybe somebody shot somebody up, a woman up. Maybe somebody brought something over. Tampon is illuminating as well. So somebody had brought over some substances. Maybe this person was a trusted source to this woman. There's been no thought about like what's happened to her because she's an addict. People just, oh, she did it again. Nobody has thought. I say that because I just got the Hermit, and this is her sharing this with me. So nobody has thought this with her, and she's sitting in the experience of everything still. This woman is in the spirit, and she's sitting in everything that happened to her. I just heard, and her child. Maybe a child passed away, or something with a child. Maybe this is the child that has an M name. Maybe it's a Michael name, or M. It's significant. Maybe they're 6 years old, or they're young, like that age. Six of Swords, but it's sideways, and it's facing the Hermit. So that's telling me that their journey hasn't been smooth. They're kind of in limbo. They're not resting yet. Hence why they're coming forward. To maybe this woman's a mother, or maybe I'm the Empress. I'm also a mother, and I'm a channeler. I channel and I can connect to spirit. So maybe this is me. Maybe the goal destiny is to connect to me, because I'm just seeing the hair of this Empress connecting up. So that could be her goal, and destiny was to connect with me to get this information out. So I don't know why I'm relevant, but maybe because of my training, maybe I would understand something. Maybe something related to that. Maybe the fact that I'm a mom. I don't know why, but So we have the Sun, and it's in the reverse. So again, it's underneath the Hermit in reverse. It's like it's been hidden, like she's been hidden. She feels like nobody is talking about her. There's maybe a cover-up going on in regards to what happened to her. Just a second, my card flew across the room. So I have the King of Pentacles here. It was sideways, facing away from the Hermit. On the floor, though, it landed far, and it was facing towards the Hermit. But in the actual appearance of where I placed this card, this is somebody who's greedy. In the reverse, the King of Pentacles, and I'm going to take this as a reverse card, although the placement of it is fitting. It's towards the future. So something coming in the future of this energy that requires this person, that's made this person kind of greedy. Could be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be, but somebody very grounded potentially, or maybe someone who appears very grounded. This is somebody who has a lot of material fortune, but they're maybe very greedy, and they're this is underneath the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is also sideways, but facing the other way. So while she's in limbo, this person's stuck. She's in limbo, but she's being supported by connecting to me right now to give access to some sort of awareness of her story. She wants me to say something. There's things I need to say that she's gonna, I guess, say, somehow get me to say. Maybe I already said them. But there's something significant about, because the Six of Swords is facing her, and although she's stuck, it's still facing her. Like she can have a moment where it could switch and change, and she can rise up and adjust where she's sitting, but she's not resting right now at this point. And because the King of Pentacles is directly beneath the Six of Swords, and they are the opposite direction, they're definitely not resting, but they're definitely hyper focused on the future energy. So future energy of something regarding this, maybe future energy, severe judgment. We have judgment in the reverse. Future energy. Maybe they're really focused on materialism and greed, and they're hoarding some sort of outcome. I'm just going to get my clarifying cards here. Pardon me. I just want to clarify these two cards here. Clarify judgment in the reverse, please. King of Wands, Hermit. This is also, okay. Clarify the King of Pentacles, please. The one recent past. Ace of Wands, sideways. So they're using energy. One more for this. So death and magic came out in the reverse. So we have the Ace of Wands that came out sideways, clarifying the King of Pentacles sideways. So this is somebody that's in, they're very greedy, they're about themselves, they have an agenda potentially. The agenda is something that leads to severe judgment, and it has to do with death and the magician. The magician being in the reverse is telling me this is magic, some sort of magic potentially, and endings. And endings to something, it's being reversed. So maybe they've placed out something that's being reversed or being seen. Maybe they're doing magic on something so that something doesn't get seen, but it's in the reverse, the magic and the death. Maybe they're doing death magic on somebody, but it's reversed. Okay. And what about the judgment? Maybe this is a leader. Maybe they're perceived as a leader, and maybe they're self-reflecting, or there's hermit here. Maybe they're thinking ego is really sticking out here, a big ego. Bold and daring is also really sticking out here. Can I get one more for the judgment in reverse? Ten of Wands in reverse as well. So we got the Hermit. So they're trying to figure out how to release themselves of this burden that they're experiencing. Maybe they're sitting in a lot of anxiety and stress due to something that was cultivated here to do with death magic. And now the Ten of Wands is reversing, or they're trying to reverse the Ten of Wands. That's their introspection. Okay, I'm gonna go a little further here. Thank you. Okay, what's the current, please? So we have the Two of Wands in the environment. The environment, please. The Moon reverse. So something's coming out. This is underneath the King of Pentacles here. So we have the Two of Wands. Somebody who made a decision. I don't know why, but that looked like a skull. Like a lot of skulls, actually. You look at this card, it looks like the man's holding a skull. That's what it looks like to me. Someone made a decision, their decision's now being illuminated. In the past it was hidden with the Sun in reverse. This King of Pentacles hid something about an Empress. This Empress could very well be this woman I'm seeing who's an addict. They're under severe judgment for what they did to her. What's the emotions? Ooh. Six of Cups. They're in their emotions about memories. So there may have been a connection to this person. Maybe they knew this person, or maybe it's a family member or somebody they knew closely. This King of Pentacles could be in their emotions about this. Maybe they're being haunted by their memory. Maybe there's some sort of something to do with that. But I'm also getting that the emotions could also be coming from spirit, this woman, because there's a child that she's referencing here. A little boy maybe with longer hair, like blonde. Like my son's a blonde, a dirty blonde, but maybe this child has dirty blonde hair. My son had really long hair, but we cut it short recently. Maybe he just had a haircut, her child, or something. Maybe they cut his hair. Maybe he had longer hair and they cut his hair. Maybe that's relevant. Let's see outcome, please. It's like the Six of Cups here. I'm also seeing everybody's holding flowers, like they're grieving or they're mourning, like they're looking down at like a death, like a coffin, and they look like children here. So maybe her child was left behind, and she's concerned for them. Maybe there's some sort of concern here. But the length of hair that I'm seeing this child have is kind of like these three, I think they're boys in the front here with longer kind of hair. Maybe he had longer hair like that, or maybe he had longer hair and had his hair cut like this, or there's something significant about hair like that. And Nine of Cups in the reverse. Outcome. So I feel like whatever this King of Pentacles was trying to do, it didn't land. The way that they expected it to. It's created a lot more burdens. Nine of Wands. She's showing me this from her perspective. So she's seeing it as the Nine of Wands like this. She's burdened by this. Nine of Wands. And then I have the Seven of Pentacles clarifying the emotions in the reverse. So some sort of exchange, some sort of seed was planted. Six of Cups. The Six of Cups has landed here in the physical. It's in the upright. The Seven of Pentacles is not landed, it's landing. It's a seed being planted here. Let's just see. I want to just double check this. Seven of Pentacles here. I don't normally use this deck. Nine of Wands. Where's the Seven of Pentacles here? Yeah, it's long-term goals, investing, growth. It's in the reverse, so low returns, lack of growth. So maybe her child's stuck too? Okay, let me just see something here. So the Nine of Wands is in the reverse, is giving up. And the Nine of Cups. Is also in the reverse. It's like empty. It's arrogant. Like somebody's arrogant. They're arrogant and they're empty. I want to see where this is going. We just flip through the rest of the cards here and see what they say here. And we have the Eight of Swords in reverse with the Moon. So something about something's being released. But maybe by this next moon. I think we have a full moon coming up. And then we have the Five of Pentacles with the Two of Wands. It's the current of the energy. It's in the reverse. So making a decision that changes everything is the current of this energy. There's going to be a decision that changes everything. And the Judgment is a Page of Wands. It's about, again, this was also clarified by the Magician and Death card in reverse, as well as the Ace of Wands sideways, the Hermit, the King of Wands as well clarified it. And we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Some sort of message with power, with passion, but negative passion. Some sort of negativity being spewed. We have the Seven of Cups reversed, clarifying the King of Pentacles. This is how she's seeing things. So there's illusions here, but these are being lifted about this King of Pentacles. So there's illusions about this person's hiding. This King of Pentacles, so somebody very, very wealthy is hiding in what they've done. And they're under extreme judgment for what they've done. So this could potentially be the death of somebody, potentially somebody who was a mother, a woman I'm seeing. She's telling me there was a close relationship. The Six of Cups in their emotions. I feel like this person, it's like they're they're being haunted by this. This child, maybe they see this child, I don't know. Maybe they're a family member, maybe a relative, or maybe like an ex or something. With the Seven of maybe it's the father of the child, I don't know. If this is resonating with you and you know what I'm talking about, then you'll know who this is. Again, this is coming from a dream that I had, and I'm just clarifying it with cards, speaking with spirit. The Seven of Pentacles, though, she's showing me is something that she's sowing up in heaven, up in the spirit. She's cultivating something. And this is to assist the memory of her. With this being in the reverse, she's cultivating it. And I really feel like whoever this King of Pentacles is, they didn't see this coming. With the Seven of Cups in reverse, it's like this person has casted big illusions about whatever the circumstance is in regards to what happened to this individual. And that's now being lifted. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So the way that I'm using these cards, speaking with her, is she's connecting to a Queen of Cups. To her, the Queen of Cups in the upright, the way she's visually seeing this. But I feel like this Queen of Cups energy, this person may have made this Queen of Cups. So it could be another female in here that assisted or has some sort of connection to this person, this woman. And this person was thrown through the mud because there was something that's not illuminated or that's hidden about this Queen of Cups. And this woman in spirit is seeing this Queen of Cups as somebody in the upright, but they're being portrayed as somebody in the reverse. And this could be part of the illusions. Maybe these illusions are going to be made right, like they're going to be showed the truth. They're going to be showed in the light that they're actually supposed to be. Some sort of evidence, I hear, is coming up. Some sort of evidence. We have an Empress energy here with the Four of Wands in reverse. So stability was taken from this woman. Her whole life was taken from this woman. Everything that she earned to complete her existence is what I hear. So it's all been taken from her. So maybe there's a husband here as well, another man, because there's a marriage here with the Four of Wands. This is like a stable foundation. This is happy endings, but in the reverse, she never got to. That stopped for her. So, and it's like, I also look at this card with the hair, like with the connection here as well. It could also be it's like when I visualize spirit, sometimes I could see them sitting like this, like your ancestors, and we have these invisible connections to our ancestors. And this child is still connected to this woman quite deeply, as they should be. It's their mother. We have the Two of Swords in reverse as well. This is with the Six of Swords. So it's like trying to place them, blindside them. But this is coming out now as the opposite. So, and we have the Ten of Cups. What she wants is for her family to have happiness, celebrations, and change. And I feel like this is coming for this person. So what I feel is what's being showed in the cards, at least, and what I'm kind of experiencing here, it's a mother that something happened where somebody portrayed themselves as helpful, kind, but maybe gave them like I said earlier, a tampon with substance in it. So somebody like tricked them into thinking something was good for them, but it wasn't good for them. It's like I remember sending one of these people that I helped when I was doing my hours. I remember speaking with them and connecting them to a facility that could better assist them in their situation. And they had to go and stay and detox and get clean to be able to get the assistance that they were hoping to receive, that they felt would be of benefit to them. And it's like that is something that as somebody who is training, who is learning, how that all the ins and outs of that work, I can't offer that type of assistance, being a student just graduating and not having a job in a facility that offers detox or what this person would need. So it would be a disservice for me to continue working with this person without offering them that type of support. And I remember reaching out for a few of the clients when that was necessary to specific locations that would assist them better than me, and there would be a transference over to another establishment to assist them, and that was the end of my job with them. And I remember the shamanic value that I was offering was well accepted by some of the people that I was working with, because it was through that type of practice that I was doing my hours to gain my so essentially learning how to do the work that I learned in school for the last couple years. Yeah, it's like if you have somebody and you know you can't help them, why would you keep them as your client? It doesn't make any sense. So it's like some sort of trickery here where, and I'm not saying it's somebody that necessarily helped her in this regard, but maybe it was somebody who was helping her in this regard, where they were coming in to act like they were some sort of assistance, but they were really not helping. Because what I'm getting here, it's like we have the Ten of Wands now in the upright. This is moving into the Ten of Wands. It's showcasing the burdens. So the truth of what happened to this woman is coming out, and this person was put through a lot of burdens. Now we also have the Queen of Cups underneath it, and I'm getting the sense that there was something hidden about a Queen of Cups energy that was distorted to make a King of Pentacles look better. Like almost like an exchange. Maybe that's why they're showing me that there's like an exchange of hands. Like maybe this, because the King of Pentacles is facing the opposite way of the Queen of Cups in the reverse, but she's not in the reverse. This is like the painted picture. It'll get clarified in a few more cards. Her card that clarifies her moving forward. But as for the Hermit, the reflection, the hidden the notion of the Ten of Cups, of like the happiness that this woman was trying to achieve. It's like I'm being shown a woman that I worked with who had a family, and she was not doing very well, and but I remember working with her, and her goal was to get better for her children, like her child. I think she had a child, and but it was hard, it was difficult, and I remember just listening to her a lot of the time. It was just hearing what her struggle was, and that was like, it was like an hour of that, and it was hard for her, but she was trying, and I remember passing her over to a better situation, a hospital setting that could assist her better, and yeah, so there's something with that, some sort of like passing off of information that's inaccurate, because the sun in reverse is illuminating underneath it in the reverse, but it's not illuminating, it's like hidden, about some sort of burdens that this woman was going through. So yeah, and then we have hoarding energy here with the Four of Pentacles, and this is directly above the King of Pentacles, and this is about a Two of Swords changing, like in the reverse. So we have the Six of Swords, her not moving forward, a Two of Swords putting someone in a predicament, and then just holding stable on that that energy that they've placed out upon somebody, which could very well be a woman, a very empathic woman, a very intuitive woman, somebody who's kind and loving and caring, and maybe this King of Pentacles distorted this person's image. We have the Magician coming out, and the Empress on the Empress card, which could be this woman being a mother, but it could also be maybe the Queen of Cups being also, could be also that, because we have the Queen of Cups in reverse underneath the Hermit. It could be a few instances here, but we have the Magician, so something has been manipulated. And that was the goal destiny, something to do with the Four of Wands in reverse, something to do with somebody's home, the stability, the ground that they walk on, everything that holds their family unit together. Somebody was throwing magic at this. And a King of Wands is coming out on the Queen of Cups reverse and the Sun reverse. So there's something about this King of Wands here. So maybe this is a practitioner that was paid to do this magic over maybe a Queen of Wands, or over the outcome of a circumstance, maybe to hide the truth from being seen. We have a Knight of Swords energy on the King of Pentacles sideways with the Seven of Cups illusion, and this is like spewing, oh sorry, Knight of Swords, yeah, this is energy being shed out. It's charging energy, it's fast moving energy, and it's cutting through the Seven of Cups energy, being that it's in reverse, so it's cutting through these illusions. We have the Page of Wands reverse influencing Judgment. This is a message, this is casting energy. This has also the Death card and the Magician reversed, so this is reversing energy. And we have the Devil clarifying that. That's future energy. The Two of Wands, current of the energy with the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So whatever stagnation was placed upon somebody, or was taken from somebody, was placed on somebody, but it was also, it was taken from somebody else to place on somebody, and it's now coming back down. And we have Hierophant energy here. So this is divine connection, orchestration, divinely guided. With the Eight of Swords, sorry, the Moon in reverse, so something that's coming up with the Eight of Swords, so something that's being revealed about somebody that was being bound, is about a Ten of Pentacles here. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the environment here. And we have the Three of Wands. They're in their emotions because there's a Seven of Pentacles. They've sowed something that's being revealed now about memories that they have with somebody, or the memories that they've implanted about potentially a Queen of Cups energy to make themselves look better. It's now coming back with what they've like what you've dished will come back, right? It's the truth will always be revealed. And I feel like they're in their emotions about this because they know that something is coming back for them. And this is underneath the Devil energy here. This is the judgment, severe judgment. This is the Page of Wands in reverse, as well as the Devil. So it's definitely being illuminated. And we have ending in the Five of Swords. So some sort of fighting, loss. What was orchestrated, what was built upon. What they built from this loss, from this, her tragedy. So something tragic. With the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Wands in reverse, and I'm getting this as the truth. This is a greedy individual trying to gain some sort of Wheel of Fortune. But this Wheel of Fortune is being illuminated for the rightful heir. And this is going to be justice. Sorry, I'm just looking a little further here. We have the Queen of Swords, Five of Cups, Three of Swords, Two of Cups, King of Swords, Temperance. Yeah. There's a lot of confusion in this energy. There's a lot of heartache in this energy. There may be a child in this energy, lost in this energy, in the confusion, I think there's a lot of confusion in this energy. And it sounds like it's about to be illuminated publicly, it sounds like. I'm just going to pull a few cards here. Clarify the outcome, please. New. Something recently created, discovered, or experienced for the first time. Different, unused, unfamiliar. So something was illuminated as potentially new evidence, maybe, in regards to this circumstance. That leads to justice and the wheel of fortune for somebody here, and the truth being out, something new. So new evidence. I'm hearing evidence. New evidence. Okay, clarify over what? What's the evidence of? Whoa. So we got land of milk and honey, and we have backwards. So the land of milk and honey is evidence about something abundant, some sort of abundance that has been it's like the abundant fertility of the promised land in Canaan. It encourages the Israelites to obey God's laws so they will prosper and multiply in this rich and productive land. So something about prospering, being obedient to God. But then we have backwards. So something is moving backwards. So what somebody orchestrated for another is now reversing. There's some reversals that came up as well. So it's like a regression or a return to a worse or earlier state. This is moving, facing, or direct towards the rear or in reverse order. So something new is being illuminated about this. Recording is also really illuminating to me. So there might be some sort of recording about this. I know because they're showing me this, it made me think of this. When I worked with my for my hours to obtain a certain amount of hours with a certain amount of customers, I recorded my sessions, and it was right off the bat known that it was being recorded because I needed to have proof of what I was doing with my clients. I felt like it was important for me to have these recordings, so I recorded them. So all the interactions that I had, the ones who showed up were recorded. I know there's a particular woman, there's a couple of people that just didn't show up quite a few times for one in particular, but that was my time that I notched off as, even though they didn't show up. I showed up, right? So yeah, there's something significant about recordings. So maybe that's relevant. Maybe there's a recording of this situation or some sort of interaction with somebody that could clarify a circumstance. I know there was also a recording that I had with a particular woman where at the end of our session, it was like everything was fine, but then somebody was walking towards them in the recording, and they all of a sudden got really fearful, and they just had to leave really quickly. So maybe something's captured like that, that's just... I don't know why I'm thinking about these things, but there must be some sort of relevance to them. Clarify this devil energy, the judgment in reverse, please. So fall from grace, there's a few cards that fell out. So the pride goes before the fall, Proverbs. Pride goes before destruction of a haughty spirit before a fall. aggressive, overconfident, arrogant, self-important, blinds people to their own weaknesses, setting them up for failure and ruin. So there's this. Then there's something that is as old as Methuselah. So this person lived to be, in the book of Genesis, 969 years old. So there's something that's extremely old that's coming up as well that's relevant. So maybe a tale as old as time. Maybe this is nothing new, you know. And then a fall from grace refers to the believer, a believer shifting their faith from God, unmerited favor, to legalism, trying to maintain their right, standing with God through their own rule keeping. So this is somebody making up, believing they're God, and they're having a fall from grace. So this is clarifying the devil energy. Clarify the King of Pentacles, please. No rest for the wicked. There is no peace, says the Lord, for the wicked. Warning that those that turn away from God will not experience spiritual peace. So this person's not at peace with what they've done. Clarify the Queen of Cups in reverse, please. Go the extra mile is clarifying the Queen of Cups reversed. This is, if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. So challenging people to joyfully exceed the bare minimum obligations. So this is somebody, this woman is somebody that, or this woman energy, the Queen of Cups energy, this person is somebody that went the extra mile for people. And, yeah. And we also have God. So God is very much in the energy here and is illuminating something here. So there's some action that's about to partake in regards to the circumstance. I'm going to leave this here. I hope this was clarifying for somebody here. Maybe if a multitude of people understand or resonated with this message. I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, guys, take care.